You got it. Okay.
Good morning. It's Lady and the Legend today. It is March 3rd, Sunday, Lady and the Legend, and the sound is good in the chat room, so I will tell everybody. And Leonard, you could say hello now.
And welcome aboard, everybody, on a Sunday morning. That's right, it's the Lady and the Legend. And Andy, what's going on, kid? I got a lot of questions for you. So just say hello, say good morning, and then get ready to answer my questions, okay?
Hello, good morning. I'm ready to answer your ridiculous questions.
It's not ridiculous. It's a question that a lot of people who play fantasy sports would like to hear, because you have become one of the best and serious players in all the fantasy sports. So let me ask you this. How many leagues are you in right now?
Well, okay, I have two. How many leagues am I in?
That's a question. How many leagues?
I have two that are already done.
Okay, including those two. All right.
Those are the big money ones.
Okay.
Okay, then I have.
When you don't know how many leagues you're in, you already answered the question.
I have to be honest, okay?
Be honest.
I am in more slow drafts than I've ever been in my life. I have taken advantage of these new draft and hold and best ball leagues. And we're definitely going to talk about our best ball leagues today. How fun are these drafts? I know you're not having as much fun as me.
No, I'm not having fun at all.
Today, because the thing about Fantrax is, I'm not trying to dog on Fantrax, because we know the guys, they improve the website every year, and they offer so many options that it's hard to not play there, especially when you're trying to do a slow draft. You could do slow draft best ball. You could do, they don't offer those slow drafts at CBS and Yahoo unless they've changed. But we do like to support people that we know from the industry, and the Fantrax guys have always been very good to us. They immediately respond if we have questions. But the point is, this best ball format, it's hard to know what you need, because there's not a specific set. Like, you aren't required to have, I wish they would at least put the 23-man roster. It's not even 23. It's one catcher, one first base, one shortstop, one third, 5 outfielders, and 9 pitchers, that the computer will automatically grab the best combination of points to fill that roster. Well, we're used to having 2 catchers, a middle, a corner, and it's just, when you're drafting, it doesn't make it clear, because when you went to bed last night, and I pick from your queue when it's your turn. So when I'm doing his teams too, I have a total of 9 leagues that I'm doing at the same time.
You're not doing my league. When I go to sleep, I have players in the queue.
And I go and take them for you so that it doesn't hold up the draft.
Yes, we're doing it for the draft.
But you had in the Best Ball 3 league that we started on Tuesday of last week, the problem is, I looked at the guys in your queue, and I noticed that you didn't even have a second baseman, and we're in round 21 now.
That's okay. I know I can pick a second baseman at some point.
There's nobody.
So there was plenty of people.
No, there isn't.
I don't even think you took the player that I really wanted, Whit Merrifield. Okay? But anyway, it doesn't matter.
He was gone.
I'm having a good time playing this, but I will admit, and I don't know how to do this because it really makes me sound like a jackass. And I didn't read the rules. I did not.
Nobody did. I've sent the points to multiple people.
No,
you didn't.
I didn't
Nobody
read the rules. I didn't. So I played it like a regular fantasy baseball league where you need two. There's no middle infield. There's no first, third. There's none of that stuff. So it really, I draft and it's points league. Yeah. I didn't even know that. So I'm drafting like it's a. In one league I took Class A and And who's the number one closer?
Hader.
And Hader.
Well, that's no problem, though. You need those closers.
Well, I took, and here's the, and
but when you draft 3 first basemen in the first 4 rounds, and you can only use 1 a week, but you do get 3 utility spots.
You do. So here's the thing. I'll tell you why I wound up I've drafted a lot of closers early. Now remember, Melnick says, don't spend money. Money! Don't spend money on closers. I'll still say the same thing, but this is not money. This is the draft.
So you tell people to get a closer in a snake draft.
Absolutely. And here's the thing about the stuff in the draft that I've noticed. So I have said, don't get a closer until there's not a player that really makes a difference, okay? That's remaining in and that could be in round 6, round 7. I have discovered, now listen to this very carefully, like after the first 2 rounds, I'll say it, and I don't mean it's not exact, every player's the same. All the players that are left, there's nobody who really stands out in any department. I mean, there's a couple of guys who steal a lot of bases, but still. So I want to, in a league like that, yeah, I'll take my closers and I'll take them early. Okay, because the players that are left, I don't care who it is. I can pick and choose because they're all virtually the same. They'll give you the same stats, and for the players that are going to have big stats, you don't even know who they're going to be. It can jump out from anywhere. So that's my interpretation of the draft. So Andy,
I'm typing a message to Daniel. Hold on.
Okay, I'm going to find out from Andrea about the first pick, and everybody's, I mean, I'm in 3 leagues, as I said. I'm trying to draft a different team in every league, and I'm still trying, I'm being able to draft 3 good teams, okay, because most of the players are alike. The only thing I'm trying not to do, and I'm drafting 3 good teams without duplicating a player that's already been drafted by me in 1 league. And I'm doing good. I mean, Torkelson at first. It's really something. And it's a competitive team. So when you have the number 1 draft pick and Acuna gets hurt, and the first thing they say is he's okay, there's no big deal. But now, Ronald Acuna examined, recommended an MRI, irritation in his right meniscus. The plan now is for him to see a doctor in L.A. The Braves, and I'll use this term, expect, but still guarantee, they expect him to be ready for opening day. Now, this is the first pick in the draft. Of
course you're going to say that, dumbass.
Well, yeah. But
they're going to say that.
Well,
what are they supposed to say? The guy's going... First of all...
I'm not criticizing him for what they said. I want people to pay attention because they use the word expect. Now, first round draft pick, I think it's the worst pick to have anyway.
Oh, it sucks.
But this year...
It's the kiss of death.
Oh, this year it's awful.
It's the first pick of the draft is the kiss of freaking death. And if there's 15 teams, it's the super kiss of death. Even with or without Acuna. You're getting pick 1 and pick 30. You think of, even if you're on the turn, even if you're pick 15, at least you get 15 and 16. If you're pick 12, you get picked 12 and 19. This first pick crap sucks. Everybody, when I was first playing fantasy, we used to really want to get the first pick.
Oh, yeah, it was different.
What were we thinking?
Well, it was, first of all, the first round pick was something special, and you had other picks equally as special, so you didn't lose anything. But now, the first round pick, Acuna, with his injury status being what it is, will anybody, everybody's drafted Acuna number 1. But from now on, does the chat room think that Acuna will still be the number 1 pick in the draft? And if not...
Can I chime in since I'm on the air today with you? You can't keep me from chiming in.
Who's going to be the number 1 pick if it's not Acuna?
Well, there was a poll posted on X yesterday, and it was asking this question. And 75% of the people said that they would still draft Acuna. In fact, I started a draft last night. Acuna was the number 1 pick still. I have to say that, and look, this guy ran out of time. So it wasn't even technically the number one pick. But I answered this poll, and I'm telling you, here's how I see it. I don't care about 75% of the world, dude. I'm on an island of my own here.
You're damn right.
And that's why my opinion matters, because you want to hear the same echo chamber constantly from these experts, then be my guest, okay? But Acuna, on his way to California as we speak, the fact that he's traveling across the country to see a specialist for his knee. Now, that may or may not be anything. I think this doctor is the one that did the surgeries before on him, so he has all of his records, and it doesn't matter that he's across the country. But the fact that it was important, and again, maybe the fact that he wanted to go see his own doctor, or maybe that doesn't mean anything other than he wants to see somebody that he's familiar with. However, you got a guy on a plane going to California to get another testing on his knee. You know, when Tommy John surgery erupts, it's always like this. They go to get an opinion, and then they always go to that dude in Texas who does all the Tommy John surgeries for the second opinion. And the minute that you know, that you see that this guy is headed to the Tommy John doctor, then you have to start expecting that this is going to come back Tommy John. This Acuna has already had several troubles with this knee and seemed to be completely beyond that stuff, but I'm not taking him, and I'm not taking Witt either, because
Bobby Witt is the chat room favorite to be taken number one.
Well, he's a shortstop, and Julio Rodriguez could have simply just as good of numbers, and he's an outfielder. And while I have to reassess my opinion of waiting till really late in the draft for a shortstop, I still think you should not take a shortstop number one overall. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kill you. But last night in a 15-team league, I missed out on Kyle Tucker. I was picked 12. I missed out on Juan Soto. I really wanted Soto. He was ranked 12, and he went earlier than 12, so I had to make a decision right there. The only outfielder left on the board at that point that's really good is Yordan Alvarez. I've been completely forgetting that Harper is actually a first baseman. Yes. So he doesn't qualify in outfield, and he's not going to qualify at outfield. It's not like he's starting the season, with and only needs 5 games. He is the permanent DH or first baseman for Philly. That's what it is. So I actually decided to go Matt Olson, because I know it sounds crazy, and Matt Olson isn't going to steal a bunch of bases, but this guy's RBIs and runs and batting average, I'm telling you what, he's got 40 more RBIs than the guy that you're going to take in front of him. But so I took Olson, and then I remembered that Harper is only a first baseman, and I said, oh, crap, dude. If I don't get Yordan Alvarez right now, I'm not going to have a good base for my outfield, because, yes, there's stragglers deeper in the draft than I thought. I'm reassessing as I go. But there are not great outfielders after the first few rounds. So I was so lucky I got Yordan Alvarez and Matt Olson. Dude, wow. And that helps me later when I need to get a guy like, maybe a Rhys Hoskins or something, okay? Or Kyle Schwarber even.
Oh, Kyle Schwarber.
But my batting average already makes up for a Kyle Schwarber if I need him.
Oh, really? Okay, well,
because
that's good.
I'm working with 300 here with these two guys.
Good morning to Anthony D.B. Miller, Big Al on the prowl, Chris Gallo, Dad's a Premier. Good morning, Daniel Ferrara. Dennis Tipko, how's Aiden feeling? Heard he was under the weather. Good morning. Eddie Heckman's on his way to church. J.R. Matz has joined us. James Caplion. Leonard Donaldson.
Good morning to the Moose and
Wow,
Dad.
the Moose, Malpal, Merrill is here. Rotorius, SM King, saying hello to everybody. SM King Third, Timothy My Hooker, Zelmo, and Tommy Johnson with Boston Paul. Woo!
Zelmo saying hi to Leonard last night. He said he was so happy to see that you were up. Big man, he called you. But here's the thing. Lenny was sleeping. It was me drafting out of his queue, but I didn't want to hold up the draft. So here's what we do. Do you draft Ronald Acuna number 1 since I'm telling you, if it would have been before this trip to California, I would have still taken him. But you're screwed if you draft Acuna and you lose Acuna. You might as well just say sayonara, dude, because you missed out on all those other players. 30 players you missed out on because of Acuna. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty crazy. But here's the thing about the Best Ball League. I got Elly De La Cruz. And on that same team, I got Tatis. I have Royce Lewis, who these guys I would never draft in a Roto League, and I still even wouldn't draft him in a points head-to-head league. But Malpal brought up something to me that I think needs to be shared across the wire. You know, he was at the gym yesterday when I was comparing Justin Steele to Grayson Rodriguez. And I was only going to do Cole Reagans and Justin Steele, and I'll tell you, Justin Steele has to be my favorite guy of the season because of where you can get him in the draft. Nobody likes him. I'm also on an island of my own with these low velocity pitchers. 92, 93, it's perfect for me. Okay. But Malpal called after he got done from the gym to let me know his reasoning for drafting Grayson Rodriguez when Justin Steele was available. It was so good, I have to make sure everybody hears it, okay? He said to me this Best Ball League only takes, by computer, automatically your best team every week. So, with Grayson Rodriguez, you know his ceiling is high. And yes, he's a youngster, so these youngsters, they hit a lot of speed bumps in the road along their journey to becoming a veteran. And in this league, when Elly De La Cruz goes off, hits grand slams, steals 16 bases in a week, he will come in and he will be automatically used as part of my points. But when he when he has his speed bumps and he doesn't do anything and he strikes out 40% of the time the next week, it's inconsequential because he does not show up at all. That means you don't have to worry about Grayson Rodriguez having getting shelled one day. If Grayson Rodriguez does well, his points show up in your accumulated points. If not, nobody knows about it. So that's why you can get away with drafting guys like Royce Lewis. I mean, how exciting is Royce Lewis? The guy's hitting grand slams like crazy. He's hurt, okay, more than he's not hurt. But when he's not hurt, he is good grief. He could win you leagues with just his good days, okay, especially if you don't have to deal with his bad days.
There you go. So the top picks are the ones that really make a difference, and after that, she's right. You draft a Royce Lewis, you draft a couple other guys that are in the mix, and it's almost like they're all the same, okay? Almost, okay? And, of course, they're talking in the chat room.
But I thought that was another just masterful thought that came from Malpal, dude, to share.
Okay, is Acuna going to be out 1/3 of the year? J.R. Matz wants to know that. Nobody knows. No, remember when they said he doesn't need an MRI? The next day, they give you the results of the MRI. That is that's it. And this kid Jones from Colorado,
we like him too.
Nice pick. Okay?
We like Nolan Jones.
A lot of nice.
And another
picks.
Nolan we like too.
Now, Anthony D.B. Miller, it's not only in your draft, but what do you do for a keeper?
I do not keep him for 42, and it's 42. Oh my gosh, I just don't know. But it's $360 budget, so that's actually $30 in a $260 league. Thank you for pointing that out, Anthony D.B. Miller. So really, you gotta look. It's a keeper league. I'm not ready to say throw in the towel on this guy for a keeper league. He's still super young, and he's got his whole career ahead of him. I just pray that knee, you could look at it one of two ways. If he does end up needing to have surgery or being out a substantial amount of time, you have to look at it like the team has analyzed this and said we're going to miss less time overall by having him just let this knee heal, rather because he's a long-term investment for the Braves. Actually, he just avoided arbitration, so this was his final year of arbitration, I think.
Yeah, you see, I just clicked on a player. I forgot who I just clicked on, but I clicked on the wrong button.
Oh, it's okay. You're still up, Leonard.
I'm still up. I don't know who the player was.
Well, let's look at your list here.
Yeah.
Let's look at your list.
No,
We're in Best Ball 2. You need to look at what the places that you need. What position do you need? Here's Baseball 2.
I got it. I'm picking Nick Castellanos. All right, how do I get him? What's the matter?
There's Whit Merrifield.
I know.
Don't you already have Castellanos? Wait a minute.
I don't have Castellanos.
Okay, so let's find him.
You're good. Find him, okay? All right, so after Acuna...
There he is. You want him?
I want him. Take Nick Castellanos, okay? I'm going for... and again, I'm drafting... I don't know who I'm drafting, okay?
Well, let's write him on your list.
And already I got Torkelson. In my outfielders, I got Chisholm, Juan Soto, Nick Castellanos, and now... what's going on?
Nothing.
What is it? Do I need to take a shower? Oh my gosh, unbelievable. Yeah, but I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is, and you might be right, okay? Anyway, so I got Nick Castellanos.
Okay, hold on. Let's put him on your list. Castellanos.
There you go. He's on the board. And on this team...
It's my turn now. Okay.
Okay, it's your turn now.
You just go ahead and talk about things.
Yeah, I need some... The only pitcher I have is Luis Castillo.
You're only in round 5.
I'm only in round 5. Round 5.
Round 10.
We're in round 10.
Okay, forgive me.
And so there you go.
I guess I have one guy in my queue, so I got to take this one guy in my queue.
Hold him back on pitching. Okay,
look at my. Okay, here's my pitching so far. I am the low velocity queen with Justin Steele, Sonny Gray, and Logan Webb. And all 3 of these guys will stay healthy. Believe it, okay? Here we go. Bryson Stott. That's who's going at second base for me. And it's now a Maze Met fan. So,
okay,
Captain Danny's up. Okay.
All right, we don't
Lenny,
want
you're up.
I went.
You got to go in another league.
In another league? Holy mackerel. You know, to be doing these leagues... Every minute of the... What's going on? What are you...
Up at the top,
Up at the top.
Those are your leagues.
These are my leagues. I'm up on this league?
Scroll down. Let's see. No, that's
not the league. You can't do this, okay?
Maybe you're not up.
You can't... I'm up. I'm not up. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody. Okay?
All right. It's fun. This is fun for me, okay?
I don't know. I think I lost
This is Best Ball 3 that you're up in.
Yeah, but I lost one of the leagues, okay?
There it is. Best Ball 3. Now look at your queue. You got a ton of people there.
I'm up. All right, so now
look at all your queue. You really need a catcher in this league.
I need a second baseman also, right? So I'm taking this guy.
Okay, take Whit Merrifield.
Whit Merrifield. Now, I think he is one of the players that's undervalued in fantasy baseball right now. He can steal a base. He's not terrible. And Whit Merrifield is somebody that I would definitely make sure, if I need a second baseman, I would absolutely...
Draft Aiden. Yes, Aiden. He's the star of the show, I gotta say. He's drafting a great team. We're going to get beat by a 10-year-old, okay?
That's okay.
It's okay. Right. I'm proud of it. I feel like Aiden is probably pretty smart thanks to his dad listening to our show.
Yes, okay.
Okay,
now,
here we go.
Who's the number 1 pitcher? Okay.
Garrett Cole.
Is Garrett Cole... This is a very weak number 1 pitcher, okay? Now, he pitched 7 innings of shutout ball, hit a solo home run to account for the only run in this game. But how good is Garrett Cole? Is he a typical number 1? In my day, the number 1 pitchers were always, they were in the $30 range, and they were always something special. I don't think Garrett Cole is something special. What about you?
Well, he had a 2.63 ERA last year, a 9.8 whip. The guy's a freaking workhorse. I'll give him that. I can't stand the guy. But you know what? This is not about liking people. This is about winning fantasy baseball. However, his ADP ranked 13. He made 33 starts last year, 222 strikeouts and 48 walks in 209 and a third innings. Okay? Now, it's the 5th straight season that this workhorse has topped 200 strikeouts, okay? And you don't count the 2020 season because it was only half a season, but 27% strikeout rate, that was his lowest since 2017, and that is still very good. But he lost a little bit of velocity on his fastball last year. He still averaged 96.7 miles an hour. His ERA was 2.63. That's beautiful, but his FIP, his xFIP, and his xERA all above 3. 3.60 xFIP and 3.43 ERA, xERA. You can expect a little regression. I will never draft him in the first round, so that's good for me because my temptation of getting a pitcher too early is non-existent this year, okay? What do you think of Garrett Cole at pick 13? He's going in the first round. And he's going right along Strider, who I'm surprised is actually going so high. I realize that Strider is so good. I wish that ERA affected his ADP, but it's not. People have read right through that damn ERA, and they know that it was inflated. So, Garrett Cole won and Strider won. Both of these guys, they're going in the first round. That's great for me because that gives me hope to get Soto or some of these other hitters.
He had a healthy offseason, and so, the Yankees are going to bring him along slowly. He's the American League Cy Young Award winner, so he'll be fully ramped up by the time opening day arrives. And coming off a great 2023 season, 15-4, 263.
I just read all of these.
I'm reading them again.
I just read every bit of these.
It's okay to pick him number one, but my gut feeling is that he will not be the number one pitcher by the end of the year.
Jeremiah brings up a point about Yamamoto, who is also very exciting, and wow, is he going early. I would not do it, but that's just me. Malpal says draft for greatness. Yeah. King Turd agrees with it.
You can't draft a pitcher who never pitched in the majors before.
Dude.
You can't draft a number one. Sorry.
Dude, tone it down.
Don't
Inside
call me
voices.
dude.
Come on, man. Dude.
Go ahead.
You want me to call you big guy?
Yeah, call me big guy.
The big guy?
The big guy. Come on.
10% for the big guy?
I would try to stay away from Garrett Cole and go somewhere else.
All right, well, you're not, you know what? You're on an island with me, all right?
You write it down that Melnick, the legend, predicted Garrett Cole would not live up to expectations.
Lenny's grandson. Lenny's son is his son and his grandsons are all three huge hockey guys. His son plays in adult hockey and refs like 10 or 12 or 15 games a week. And now his oldest son, Lenny's oldest grandson, is now going to Mizzou. But he still plays hockey. They live in the Chicago suburbs, so hockey is life there. And so Michael, who's Lenny's son, he likes to send Lenny, and of course we love seeing it, the videos of the games and stuff. And Benjamin is the youngest grandson.
Yes.
He's in high school now.
He's the goalie.
And he's always been the goalie, but he's the smallest kid on the team.
Won the state championship last night.
And he's the littlest guy on the team by a long shot, Height does not run in Lenny's family.
Well, not anymore. He's catching up.
Oh, you could just see by the video how little he is. But he's an excellent goalie. And we saw a video last night of everybody. They jump on Benjamin. When they win, they were ahead by 1 goal, and it was getting down to the wire, And as soon as the clock timed out, all the skaters go over there, and they all dogpile on Benjamin.
Yeah. Anyway,
why did I bring that up?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Anyway,
let's talk about Ellie.
All you do is talk. You don't give me a chance to say anything. Okay? When she gets rolling.
Suck on it.
Ellie De La Cruz at the beginning of the spring. Oh my God. Just because I stink, right? I know it. I haven't changed my shirt in a week.
You changed your shirt today. You need a shower.
Oh, okay. Ellie De La Cruz. All right, if anybody wants to go to a different podcast, now's the time. He hit a mammoth 400. Stop it. Nobody tuned in for
God,
this.
I'm so embarrassed.
Of course I'm embarrassed. Ellie De La Cruz hit a shot, 470. Now, he started off this preseason. I can't concentrate. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of the podcast in...
Okay, let's go. I'm ready. I'll pull it together, yes.
Okay. So he's... Are we still on the Ellie De La Cruz bandwagon?
I love Ellie, but I won't draft him. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm one of those conservative people playing fantasy. But, hey, this best ball gives me an opportunity to put together all kinds of different teams.
Now, Edwin Diaz threw live batting practice Friday, and he's going to have a minor or a major league game early this week. If he can come all the way back, this is one player. Do you think the Mets have a competitive team?
I do, but
I'm
totally biased. I don't really see reality. No. I see through rose-colored lenses with the Mets. You know what? They need Bauer. Cody Senga is out. Let's go. Come on. They got a lot of good pieces here. They have the Edwin Diaz. They even have Starling Marte. He's a Met.
Yeah.
You just drafted him. He could be actually pretty good under the radar. Pete Alonso, the leader of the team. They got Brett Beatty. Somebody was saying...
Beatty hasn't done a thing.
Who cares?
And as far as Marte goes...
What about Vientos? They have two power-hitting third basemen.
Neither one of them are going to start the team.
Well, we just read today that they think Beatty could hit 30 homers.
But he's not even hitting foul ball homers. He's not doing anything. Now, and Vientos, the same thing. The Mets are going to be, and their pitching staff is awful. Now, the Giants, take a look at San Francisco. Everybody thought they would be a tough team, right? A top team. They had a lot of injuries. Now, the San Francisco Giants, okay, what are you doing?
I'm getting the depth chart for you.
Yeah, okay. So, you don't have to. All right.
You want to go to San Francisco?
San Francisco Giants. I'm going to predict, and I've done it on Facebook already, that the Giants will sign both Montgomery and Snell. Both.
Why do you say that?
Well,
they have Logan Webb, Kyle Harrison.
And that's basically
They have Jordan Hicks. They also have this guy, Keaton Wynn, who is a good one to look at for the formula.
Wynn, Tristan
You don't
Beck
know anything about
injured.
Wynn.
Robbie Ray is injured. Alex Cobb is injured. But here's the thing. Now pay attention. Okay?
Alex Cobb, he's always injured.
At the beginning of the season, the Giants were in on a lot of big players that they did not get. And I remember they were going to spend $600,000 to get Aaron Judge, right?
$600 million.
I mean, $6 million.
$600 million.
To get Aaron Judge. $600 million. If they were going to, and they didn't get him, I think the same went for Carlos Correa. I don't know, there were a couple of players that the Giants went big on. If they're going to go big on those couple of players, spend the same money that you didn't spend to get these two pitchers that are out there. Okay? To get, who are the pitchers there? Snell and the other guy. Montgomery. So based on that, I think the Giants, because the Giants thought they were competitive. Now, I don't see their team as being competitive. Just picking up that, Matt Chapman, I don't think the Giants are competitive. They have to be competitive. They are going to have to. There's no choice. They have to come up with these two pitchers. There you go.
Okay, Emilio Pagan, he earned 20 saves in 2019 for the Rays. And that was when he was traded 4 times in a span of 4.5 years, and he never really got settled, never established himself as a closer, and really said that he fretted a lot over his future. And last season he changed his mind. He said to Rocco Baldelli of the Twins, he said, I just want to be as clear as I could be about wherever you need me and whatever inning you want me to do, I'm going to be ready for. And he said for the first time, he really didn't care what inning he threw. And it took all that stress off of him, allowed him to do what he does and just be the best version of him. And last year, age 32, he really did have one of his best pitching seasons. And he he's not going to take over the closer job for Johan Duran. But he absolutely is. He signed a 2-year, $16 million free agent contract with the Reds now.
Yeah.
So now he's changed teams again. It's his 6th major league team. What are the Reds going to do with Pagan?
They're going to put him in the bullpen. He went to the manager and he said, I'll do whatever is necessary to win, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's what he said.
How about Chapman taking J.D. Davis's job? Even though J.D. Davis had the highest hard contact rate last year of the whole Giants team at 45.2% hard hit rate.
Yeah.
Or hard contact.
Hard contact.
That's the same thing.
Matt Chapman is the highest hard contact guy. Matt Olson is second. Soto is third. Acuna is fourth.
But okay. Matt Chapman just took J.D. Davis's job.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about Alek
Does
Manoah.
J.D. Davis play any other position besides...
He can play the outfield.
Okay.
All right. Alek Manoah felt some shoulder soreness during the bullpen session.
Why are we talking about this guy?
Because he was going to be a good pitcher.
When?
And then he got hurt. He was good last year. He
was horrible last year.
He won't throw for a few days.
You're stuck in 1996.
Yeah. Anyway, he'll be reevaluated. So there are some people that like him, okay?
Well, nobody likes him that I know of.
Well, how about this guy, Javier, what's his name? Christian Javier. I liked him. Yeah. I took him early. Did you see that?
Okay.
I picked him up early.
Okay.
And I'm telling you what my strategy is for pitchers.
To lose.
You're not very nice today. Not at all. I'm taking pitchers on good teams. I've noticed that pitchers...
That's a good idea.
That's why I took Javier, because he pitches on the Astros.
Yes.
And I took him because I think on the Astros, he pitched well. He didn't allow a hit in his inning of work. Manager Joe Espada has prioritized limiting stolen bases. Javier struggled when he surrendered 22 stolen bases last year. So,
yes, Hunter Brown, if you're going to target an Astro, just to target an Astro, just go ahead and get Hunter Brown. Look, the problem with Javier is not just the stolen bases. He is an extreme fly ball pitcher. He hardly ever induces ground balls. He did improve down the stretch last year, but his strikeout rate dropped from 33.2% to 23.1%. His slider was not as effective. He has shown a decline in control. And yes, he's a workhorse. He actually pitched 31 starts last year, but only 162 innings. So he finished the season with a 4.56 ERA. That's worse than it should be this year. They project him somewhere between what he did in 2022 and what he did in 2023, which is about a 3.80 ERA and 166 strikeouts. He's a workhorse. He's gonna rack up strikeouts for you, but the problem is he doesn't throw the ball. He doesn't get the ball hit on the ground, and Hunter Brown has better underlying potential and higher ceiling than Christian Javier. Now, what about Vaughn Grissom?
Well, I liked him at the beginning of the year. He was one of my must-have picks. Then he was traded. Then he's been out for a while with a strained groin. He will not likely be ready for opening day, traded, of course, to Boston. He'll have to wait longer to make his official Red Sox debut.
We talked about him yesterday on the show because I was trying to decide if I should grab Vaughn Grissom or a couple others. Vaughn Grissom got hurt before I had to take my turn, which was a blessing. But I ended up with Luis Rengifo, who plays all over the place, okay? And he's just as good as Vaughn Grissom. I mean, Vaughn Grissom showed potential in the minors, but he has not shown that much potential in the majors. And yes, Boston was going to give him every day. And according to RotoWire, they say that Valdez is next in line at second base. But I'll tell you what, okay? I was looking at the depth charts, and Ceddanne Rafaela is a second baseman, even though Alex Cora said that Rafaela was he's in competition to be the opening day center fielder for the Red Sox. Okay, now Jarren Duran is the favorite to be the opening day center fielder, but he was, and Ceddanne Rafaela came up last year, so he does have some major league experience. When I take a look at this depth chart and I see Emmanuel Valdez and Pablo Reyes as their backup second baseman, with Ceddanne Rafaela, the next in line, no, they might not have a spot for this kid in the outfield, but now they have a spot for him at second base. He's excellent defensive, plus defender and center fielder. He's an excellent defender everywhere. He plays all over the field. He's ADP 321 right now. The biggest problem with this youngster, Ceddanne Rafaela, is that he's now 23, okay? He stole 39 bases last year in 136 games between AA, AAA, and the majors, and he has elite bat speed. He launched 22 home runs in his age 22 season, so we're talking 22 homers and 39 stolen bases last year, all told with minors and majors. He hit .319 with a 20.2% strikeout rate and a 6% walk rate over his final 82 games in the majors last season, which earned him his big in the minors, which earned him his big league call up.
Oh,
now,
I'm trying to say okay because you've been talking, so keep talking.
He had a 38.8% chase rate and 72% contact
How do you know
rate.
all this?
I'm reading out for RotoWire, my favorite go-to place where I get all of my news.
You're not supposed to say you're reading off of some
You
place.
asked me where I'm reading it.
No, I said, how do you know all this stuff?
31% strikeout rate is the big problem with Rafaela, as is the problem with most youngsters. But this guy, I don't care what RotoWire says, I'm telling you, this guy has a chance to start the season in the majors at second base, because if you look at these other dudes that have an opportunity that are on the depth chart here with Emmanuel Valdez and Pablo Reyes, neither of these guys are any good, okay? Neither of them.
Can I talk about one of my favorite players?
Yes.
Ian Happ. And he won't be appearing in games. He suffered a mild hamstring strain. Okay, so Craig Counsell said he is optimistic that the 29-year, I like him as a fill-in player, but he's optimistic. That's a bad word. He was the 9th overall pick in 2015, entering his final year of his 3-year extension. So keep in mind that he's a switch hitter. He has become the club's most reliable, but still, fantasy-wise, not that great. He's a good fill-in player, and that takes care of that. And finally,
Boston Paul says that Valdez is an okay hitter, and I'll tell you what Valdez did, which is nothing compared to what this Rafaela can do. He struggles with his glove, number one. He's a defensive downside. He hit .266 with a .311 on base percentage, 6 homers and 5 stolen bases in 149 plate appearances last year in the majors. In 2022, at 3 levels, okay, he hit 28 home runs and 8 stolen bases in 566 plate appearances. And last year, I told you what he did in the majors, but overall, between the minors and the majors, 380 plate appearances, 16 homers, and 9 stolen bases. So this guy is okay, but look, Ceddanne Rafaela, he wants a spot, and he's the up-and-coming youngster. He's 23 years old. They project him 13 homers and 23 stolen bases, which already crushes Valdez. And he's much better defensively. I don't know why Alex Cora said that this Valdez guy is going to get second base when Jarren Duran is already playing center field. And Rafaela, maybe they need to keep him down. I don't really know how it works. But they're comparing this Rafaela guy to Michael Harris for now. And his defense skills are what will get him in the game. I think Alex Cora would be making a huge mistake to send Rafaela down and keep this Valdez cat.
Okay, responding to a comment in the chat room asking about Jake DeGrom, there's been nothing. Jake DeGrom's stuff has been absolutely zero. But let's talk about Max Scherzer for a second. Max Scherzer
coming back sooner. right?
Go ahead. Now she won't talk. Okay, Matt Scherzer. There's no real timetable, but it might be a little earlier than they thought. Okay, he underwent surgery in the middle of December, a herniated disc. The Rangers said at the time that he could be back June or July. Not exactly clear, but they think he's age 39, and they think that the June timetable is a little earlier than we thought. But Scherzer underwent surgery in mid-December, and he may be back. He's currently able to do his rehab. So, Max Scherzer, if you want to take him, it looks like he's going to be pitching this year. Okay? All right, let's say goodnight to everybody, and thank you for joining us in the chat room, as you do. And it's great. Eddie Heckman on his way to church. Anthony D.B. Miller, Big Al on the Prowl, Chris Gallo, Chris S.P.
J.P. Leonard.
J.P. Dad's a Premier. Daniel Ferrara. Dennis Timko. Aiden Timko. James Capleon. J.R. Matz.
And Moose.
And Moose.
And Danny.
And Danny.
Mikey.
And Mikey.
Hey, you know, J.R. Matz is a coach of a high school girls. They just won state, and they just broke a bunch of records.
That's
where he
fantastic.
went in Cleveland.
Okay. Leonard Donaldson is here. Laura, Malpel, Rotorius. You got SM King Turd, Star Dog, Timothy My Hooker, Zelmo, Boston Paul. Thank you all, everybody. I'm telling you, whoa, okay? I'll see you tomorrow, everybody, at 9 o'clock.